Speech 2. Climate change. Many people on Earth live out their lives never knowing when the world is going to end or ever experience something like a drought in their lifetime. The luxuries of being able to drive anywhere or have a grocery store that is always stocked comes with a price. We hurt the earth in order to satiate our unlimited wants. Many times, what a person wants or needs is oversatisfied, and we end up having a surplus of items that we don't need to survive. Today I'm going to inform you on what kind of damage all of these excessive wants are causing on our climate, including longer heat waves, sea level rising, and food and water shortages all over the world. I'll begin by describing the first of many outcomes, longer days full of heat. When a car is driven from point A to point B, or when a person talks, certain emissions are released into the atmosphere. As reported in 2015 by Greg Shura and Cheng Zhang at the NASA website, increases in human-produced greenhouse gas emissions drives up the risks of severe droughts. If emissions continue to increase along this path like they have been, then there is a bigger chance of dry seasons that can cause food shortages worldwide. Such emissions, like carbon dioxide, that are released from cars, breathing, and power plants, will cause an 80% likelihood of a decades-long mega drought in the U.S. alone by the year 2050, as stated by Greg Shura. The next event of climate change are the sea levels rising. The earth is warming up faster than before because of these greenhouse gas emissions. And this has already caused many icebergs that hold the majority of Earth's water to melt, causing the sea levels to rise. David Wallace Wells of New York Times stated this year that Arctic permafrost contains 1.8 trillion tons of carbon, which, when thawed, carbon may evaporate as methane, which is 34 times more powerful in harming our atmosphere. Once the sea level rises, many cities will disappear. The residents will have to move to other cities and rebuild their lives. With newer residents moving, this will cause overpopulation in many more cities that aren't by the sea and bring more conflict in finding jobs, resources, and keeping the peace among the newer residents. The final event that will be caused by these greenhouse gas emissions will be food and water shortages. There may be droughts and floods that come with these climate changes because of these emissions that are depleting our ozone, allowing more heat to be brought inside Earth's atmosphere and caught. Many places in the world will experience droughts with no water to help keep the crops thriving that we depend on. Without food and water, more people will die from hunger and malnourishment. As stated by Greg Shura, the earliest frost-free date was April 20th for northern states. But with the increased emissions, we have now experienced frost-free weather as early as March 20th in the U.S. In conclusion, if we keep asking for more to satisfy our wants, then we will ultimately be led to our demise. As a society, we must realize that climate change is a serious matter, and we must act by limiting our footprint on this earth. If we don't limit our footprint, our grandchildren will ultimately pay the price of life ending on earth as we've grown to know it.